The air hangs heavy, thick with the scent of sweat and anticipation. 100 pairs of eyes, bright and eager, stare at the teacher. The classroom, a cramped, bare-walled space, struggles to contain the energy of these young minds. This is the reality of an Indian government school, where resources are scarce and hope often feels like a luxury. India, a nation boasting a youthful demographic dividend, grapples with the stark realities of its education system. While aspirations soar high, the foundation crumbles under the weight of neglect. The chasm between the haves and the have-nots is glaringly apparent in the very institutions meant to bridge it. In the crowded classrooms of government-run schools, children squeeze onto benches, sharing textbooks, their dreams jostling for space. The lack of basic amenities, from proper sanitation to adequate learning materials, paints a bleak picture. The leaky roof, a testament to years of neglect, offers little respite from the monsoon downpour. Textbooks, often outdated and tattered, pass through multiple hands. This is the daily reality for millions of children attending government schools across India. Overcrowded classrooms, with student-teacher ratios that defy effective learning, are the norm. The government's promise of free education rings hollow in the face of these realities. In stark contrast to the stark realities of government schools, private institutions shimmer with the sheen of affluence. Gleaming buildings, equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, cater to the aspirations of a privileged few. Yet, beneath the veneer of modernity lies a different kind of pressure cooker. Private schools, while offering superior infrastructure and resources, often come at a hefty price.
The exorbitant fees charged by these institutions create a system of exclusion, where access to quality education becomes a marker of social standing. The pressure to excel, fueled by parental expectations and a competitive academic environment, can be stifling.
Children, often as young as 6 or 7, are enrolled in a relentless cycle of tuition classes, extracurricular activities, and competitive exams. The joy of learning, the sheer wonder of discovery, is often lost in the race to climb the academic ladder.
The system, while producing high achievers, often comes at the cost of childhood's lost and well-rounded individuals stifled. The proliferation of coaching centers mushrooming in every nook and cranny of urban India is a telling sign of the commodification of education. These centers, promising to unlock the secrets to academic success, have become an integral part of the educational landscape. They thrive on the anxieties of parents and students, feeding the insatiable hunger for higher grades and coveted college admissions. The coaching industry, worth billions of dollars, has created a parallel education system, one that often undermines the very foundation of traditional schooling. Students, caught in the maelstrom of this competitive environment, are left with little time or energy to pursue their passions or develop critical thinking skills. The emphasis on rote learning and exam-oriented preparation leaves little room for creativity or innovation. The true purpose of education, to foster holistic development and critical thinking, is often sacrificed at the altar of academic achievement. Section 5. Bridging the Gap: Rural Realities and the Plight of the Girl Child. The digital divide, a stark reminder of the inequalities that plague India, is painfully evident in the realm of education. While urban centers embrace online learning and technological advancements, rural areas lag behind, starved of basic infrastructure and resources. For millions of children in rural India, access to quality education remains a distant dream. Schools, often located miles away from their villages, lack basic amenities, and teachers are in short supply. Poverty, social customs, and a lack of awareness about the importance of education further exacerbate the problem.
Girls in particular face an uphill battle. Deep-rooted patriarchal norms often relegate them to domestic chores, their education seen as secondary to that of their brothers. Early marriages, teenage pregnancies, and a lack of sanitation facilities further hinder their educational aspirations.
Section 6. Policy Paralysis. Where Accountability Goes to Die, The Right to Education. Act of 2009, hailed as a landmark legislation, promised free and compulsory education for all children between the ages of 6 and 14. Yet the ground reality tells a different story. Implementation remains a challenge, with loopholes and a lack of political will hindering progress. The allocation of funds for education, while increasing over the years, still falls short of the recommended 6% of GDP. Corruption, bureaucratic inertia, and a lack of accountability plague the system, diverting resources away from those who need them the most. The National Education Policy of 2020, with its focus on holistic development and skill-based learning, offers a glimmer of hope. However, its success hinges on effective implementation and a genuine commitment to overhauling the existing system. Section 7. Seeds of Hope. Grassroots initiatives and the power of community. Amidst the systemic challenges and policy paralysis, a ray of hope emerges from the grassroots. Across the country, individuals and organizations are working tirelessly to bridge the educational divide, empowering communities and transforming lives.
From providing remedial education to underprivileged children to setting up mobile libraries in remote villages, these initiatives are driven by a shared belief in the transformative power of education. They understand that education is not just about imparting knowledge. It's about empowering individuals to break free from the shackles of poverty and inequality.
These grassroots heroes, often working with limited resources and against all odds, are the true agents of change. They are the ones who understand the pulse of their communities, the unique challenges they face, and the solutions that will resonate with them. Section 8. A Future We Must Build. A call to action for educational equity. The time for rhetoric is long gone. The stark realities of India's education system demand urgent and sustained action. We, as a nation, can no longer afford to let millions of children languish in a system that perpetuates inequality and stifles their potential. We need a multi-pronged approach that addresses the systemic issues plaguing the education sector. Increased investment in public education, coupled with greater accountability and transparency, is crucial. Empowering teachers, providing them with adequate training and resources, is paramount. But our efforts cannot end there. We need to create an ecosystem that fosters a love for learning, where curiosity is encouraged and creativity is celebrated. An education system that equips our children not just with degrees, but with the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in the 21st century. Section 9. The Unseen Costs of Inequality. The consequences of an inadequate education system extend far beyond the individual. A nation that fails to educate its citizens is a nation that fails to realize its full potential. The economic, social, and political ramifications of an uneducated populace are far-reaching and devastating. When millions of children are denied access to quality education, we create a breeding ground for poverty, inequality, and social unrest. We squander human potential on a massive scale, depriving our nation of the innovators, thinkers, and leaders of tomorrow. The true cost of our inaction is measured not just in lost GDP or missed opportunities, but in the shattered dreams and unfulfilled aspirations of generations to come. Section 10. Towards a Brighter Dawn. Igniting the Flame of Change. The journey towards a more equitable and just education system is a long and arduous one. It requires a collective effort, a shared commitment from all stakeholders, the government, policymakers, educators, parents, and citizens alike. We need to move beyond the rhetoric of reform and translate words into action. We need to invest in our children, not just in words, but in deeds. We need to create an education system that is truly inclusive, one that empowers every child, regardless of their background, to reach their full potential. The flame of change must be ignited not in the halls of power, but in the hearts and minds of our people. It is in our collective responsibility to ensure that every child in India has the opportunity to dream, to learn and to shape their own destiny.